Okay, these subscription services are getting out of hand. Boosh! What's up, guys? It's Ben back again with another video. I apologize for the way my voice is sounding. I'm a little bit sick, but we'll push through it. So on January 13th, Apple announced that they are going to be releasing a new subscription service called Apple Creator Studio. And this is going to be on January 28th. Of this year, 2026. After hearing about it, I went onto Apple's website and took a quick look through of everything, and then I made a YouTube short talking about it, and I talked about how I thought it was a direct competition subscription to Microsoft Office and Adobe Creative Cloud. So Apple is coming out with a subscription service that is a direct competitor with Microsoft and Adobe Creative Cloud called the Creator Studio. And just going on record, I haven't changed my mind. I still do believe that this is direct competition with Microsoft and Adobe, to a point. Let's break down really quick what Creator Studio is, how it works, how much it's going to cost, and while doing that, we'll go ahead and compare it to both Microsoft Office and Adobe Creative Cloud. So first off, Apple Creator Studio is a service that Apple just created that lumps in all of what they would call their creator apps into one subscription service that would normally cost about $680. For example, Final Cut Pro is $300 to purchase outright. The apps that are included in the Creator Studio bundle would be Final Cut Pro, Logic Pro, Pixelmator Pro, Motion, Compressor, Main Stage, as well as new AI features and premium content to Keynote, Pages, and Numbers, with Freeform coming in a little bit later. Now, Keynote, Pages, and Numbers normally come on Apple computers for free, no charge. They're just on the computer when you get that computer. And these apps are Apple's versions of Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Now, Apple's Final Cut Pro, Logic Pro, Pixelmator Pro, and Motion are like Adobe's Premiere Pro, Audition, Photoshop, and After Effects. They also talk about how this will work great with Apple's cloud service to be able to work on projects on your laptop and then move directly over to your iPad and be able to work on that same project on your iPad. According to Apple's announcement, Final Cut Pro, Logic Pro, and Pixelmator Pro are now going to be fully optimized to be able to be used on the iPad, as well as Keynote, Pages, Numbers, and later Freeform will be able to be used on Mac, iPad, and iPhone. This means that if you're working on a project on your MacBook Pro and you want to switch over to the convenience of your iPad, you can do that. Or if you're a student and you accidentally misspelled a word before turning in your assignment while you're sitting in class, you can fix it on your iPhone easy and then submit it. Now, I know this isn't a new feature, but they are saying that they are optimizing this a little bit better to be able to make it an easier experience for their users. We'll see if that makes a difference. So how much does all of this cost? Well, this is going to be $12.99 per month, which gets you access to all of the apps and the AI features that come with their version of what I would call Microsoft Office, or you can pay $129 a year with a 1-month free trial. And if you're a student or an educator, you'll be paying $2.99 a month or $29 per year. So to put this into perspective for you, currently I am an Adobe Creative Cloud subscriber, and I have been for a very long time, since my freshman year of college in 2016, so it's been about 10 years. As a student in college, I was able to get a lower price on the entire Adobe Creative Suite. That was $19.99 per month. But there is a time limit to being able to keep that price on that subscription, and I ran out of that time, even though I am still currently in school. So now I pay $70 a month to be able to access the entire Adobe Creative Cloud, except for Adobe Stock, which I don't understand why that's not included in my subscription, but that's a whole nother story for a later time. And on the other side of things, with Microsoft Office, you're paying $20 a year for their basic plan, or if you have a family plan, you're going to be paying $130 a year. Now, I understand I get more bang for my buck since I pay $70 for the entire Creative Cloud with Adobe, and if I did pay for Microsoft Office, which I don't because I'm part of a family plan, I would also get more of their apps as well, and not just the selective creator apps that Apple has given us. And to be completely honest, of the Adobe applications I use Adobe Premiere, Adobe Audition, Photoshop, and Lightroom the most. Now, if Adobe came out with their own little creator package, I would be totally down for that. But as of right now, I haven't seen one. If I'm missing something, please let me know in the comment section down below. And with Microsoft Office, you get Word, PowerPoint, Excel, OneNote, Outlook, and cloud storage that comes with those subscriptions too. Almost forgetting to mention, you do get cloud storage with Adobe as well. Apple's email, iCloud, is currently free. You can also have Pages, Numbers, and Keynote all for free when you purchase your Mac. But if you want to have these specific AI features that will be coming to those apps, as well as freeform, then this might be something that you might want to look into. And to be completely honest with you, the $12.99 or $130 a year is quite compelling for me because I am shelling out $70 a month to be able to use Adobe Creative Cloud. You can see how the competition bar has been set, and I can see some people moving from Adobe to the Creator Studio, but not so much for the Microsoft Office users, because I still personally think that Microsoft Office is a much stronger application service than Apple's versions of those softwares. And to a point, I also think that with Adobe software too. Probably a hot take, but I mean, I don't know. So throughout this video, I've been kind of skeptical when it comes to the pricing model of Adobe, Microsoft, and the new Apple Creator Studio. But here's the kicker that I think kind of makes this whole thing come to a head when it comes to subscription services. Apple is still allowing you, the consumer, to be able to purchase completely outright Final Cut Pro, Pixelmator Pro, Logic Pro, Motion, Compressor, and MainStage individually with a one-time purchase to be able to fully own these applications. So you don't need to have a subscription service to be able to have these applications if it's not your thing. And that's something that I wish Adobe did, and I hope that they take note of, because I remember being 13 and owning Adobe Photoshop CS3, where I got my start, and being totally happy that I was 13 and I didn't have to pay a monthly subscription, because they weren't that big of a thing back then. And yes, I was working on CS3, and then I got into high school and I was using CS7, and then Creative Cloud came out and it was just a big snowball effect. But I kind of hope that this is a wake-up call for subscription services like these to allow users to pay to own outright these applications. To be completely honest, I've been paying for Adobe for so long that I probably could have purchased the whole suite back then for less amount of money than I put out right now. Something I talked about in my vlog last week on my second channel was how subscription fatigue is becoming a huge thing, and how I'm kind of getting tired of having to pay monthly for something that I used to be able to have for free, or I used to be able to just pay for it and move on. That conversation came up in my vlog when the teleprompter app that I use for recording these videos actually went from being free to costing $60 a year. Now, $60 a year is not that bad, but when you weren't having to pay for it before, it's kind of annoying. Now, like I said, I am an Adobe user through and through, but I think I'm gonna come out with a video of a 30-day challenge where I switch to Creator Studio for 30 days to see how much my workflow changes, and to see if I'm actually convinced to get rid of Adobe completely and move to solely using Creator Studio. Before I went to college for digital media and video editing and photography, I was using Final Cut Pro because I got the student discount from Apple and I paid outright. So I still have Final Cut Pro and Logic right now. I just don't use them. And at the time, it was great. But when I went to college, I stopped using Final Cut Pro as much because they were teaching Adobe software, because that was kind of the mainstream. Now Final Cut's kind of everywhere within the creator space. But I'm willing to give the Creator Studio a try for 30 days and then come back to you guys after I do that and tell you what I think and what I'm gonna end up doing. Maybe that'll help you guys make a decision if you're thinking about switching too. Anyways, guys, I am wondering what your thoughts are on this whole subscription service thing. Are you kind of tired of the whole paywall subscription service thing? Do you find it easier to have a subscription service rather than paying outright? Let me know in the comment section down below. Anyways, guys, that is where I'm going to leave it to you. A little bit of a different video this week, more of a rant, to be completely honest. Let me know if you guys want to see that 30-day challenge. If you like this video, give it a like. If you really like this video, hit that subscribe button and consider joining the family. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Stay classy. Bye. All right, another subscription service to subscribe to. Apple Creator Studio. Good thing? Question mark.